We're back with all that good stuff. We're back with all that good stuff. It's the Just Knowing Sports Show. Got Doc with the Juice Man. Last week we jumped right on into it with the Eastern Conference. Gave you a little rundown on what's going on in that particular conference as the playoff tournament concludes and the NBA playoffs get underway. So this week we're jumping right over there to that Western Conference jig to see what's going down in the West. Lakers did not make it. Got the Warriors coming in at the number 3 seed. It's like Minnesota did a number on the Kawhi Leonard list. Clippers, the West looks like it's wide open. CP3, Devin Booker, and them boys. It's going down. It's going to be live and in effect. But this is Just Knowing Sports Show. Don't forget to check us out every Friday night, 8 p.m. That's Anchor FM, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. So we're bringing this heat for you today. What that West looking like, Juice, man? What that West looking like, man? You had a chance to look at the standings and the bracket and see what's going down?
Yeah, man. What I want to say about the Western Conference, I think it's a little bit, I think it's opposite of what the Eastern Conference as far as being wide open. I would say there's probably maybe 3 teams that are legitimate title contenders. So I'm going to include Phoenix, Memphis, and Denver, and then kind of on the outside looking in, Utah, Golden State, and Dallas. And as far as a surprise team, I mean, we saw what the T-Wolves did last night.
Right.
They act like they won a championship, and a lot of media members are making a big deal out of it, but that's to be, nobody expecting them to do anything, and they really showed up. But my favorites are Memphis and Phoenix. As far as Phoenix goes, I think they're poised to go back to the NBA Finals. I mean, Chris Paul is still doing his thing, being the floor leader, even at his advanced age. Devin Booker is not just a shooter. I mean, he has the total package he's shown that he can run a team even when Chris Paul is out of the lineup. I mean, he's putting up MVP type numbers. I mean, averaging 27 points, 47% shooting, 39% from 3, and his money when he goes to the free throw line, he's at 87%. Last year he averaged 28 in the NBA Finals, so he's definitely the man on that team. He has a great supporting cast, Mikal Bridges and Jay Crowder. I mean, I look at those guys as 3-and-D guys. I mean, they play their roles very well, and they complement Paul and Booker very well. In the middle, DeAndre Ayton, he continues to get better. He's always been a good rebounder, can score around the basket. He's not always pretty to watch, but he's effective, and he's averaging 17 and 10. So I think the reason that they're so good is because they've got guys that can come off the bench and deliver as well. So I actually have them winning the West. As far as Memphis, they've been a very exciting team to watch. Ja Morant, we know what he can do. He brings a lot of excitement, a lot of athleticism. He's not afraid. He's also averaging 27, 6 rebounds, 7 assists this year. Memphis also, they have a good supporting cast as well. Dylan Brooks, he's a good defender, above average scorer. This kid, Desmond Bane, I mean, you've seen this dude. He looks like a linebacker playing shooting guard. I mean, he's a sniper. I mean, he's shooting 47% from the field, 44% from 3. So you can't leave him open.
Nope.
Jaren Jackson Jr. and Steven Adams, I mean, they're really good at doing what they do. Steven Adams, he's got playoff experience, knows his role. And then off the bench, Tyrus Jones. I mean, he brings quality minutes as the backup. Brandon Clark is a high flyer who can, he can get up and down the court and transition. And DeAnthony Melton, another guy, I mean, he comes off the bench and he delivers. He's a good 3-point shooter at 36%. So, but I think that, they're an exciting team this year, but I think they're going to come up short. And then with Denver, um, I mean, we know who the leader of their team is, the Joker. I mean, this guy does whatever you need for him to do on the court. It's just amazing. He can't jump. He has no athleticism, but the dude knows how to play. He's got a high basketball IQ, and he's versatile. I mean, you see him. He runs breaks a lot of times.
Right.
So, but what's hurting Denver is that they don't have Jamal Murray and they don't have Michael Porter Jr. So I think they will lose in the second round, maybe the Western Conference semis, and then right behind them, Utah. I mean, they're kind of a mirror image of Denver to me. Donovan Mitchell, he's clearly the best player. Rudy Gobert, who's a defensive player of the year 3 times. Um, Mike Conley, their point guard, he's a veteran, but he's still capable of putting up buckets. But I just don't think they don't have enough. So I've got Phoenix winning the West.
Got Phoenix winning the West. I think what a lot of people don't realize about Devin Booker is, to the casual sports fan,
Mm-hmm.
they might see, shooters surrounding him. Chris Paul,
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre Ayton, got a nice bench surrounding him. To the casual sports fan, it just seems like Devin Booker is just an extremely talented player who's going to get buckets. I don't think most people realize he's got a little bark to him. He's got a little bite to him. He will. I mean, he's a fighter. He's a scrapper. Like you said, to put up 28 points in the finals last year, that just shows that he has a capability of filling it up. He's not super athletic. He's real smooth. He controls the pace of the game. I think that's what Devin Booker brings takes that extra pressure off Chris Paul. They're a true backcourt. You got the quintessential point guard, and you got the kind of modern day shooting guard / forward, 6'7", 6'8", a very smooth jumper.
Mm-hmm.
So
people forget, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but people forget that he scores 70 points in a game.
it is.
2017 against Boston.
Yeah. So
So he can put it up.
he's a very efficient scorer. He can put it in there. He can definitely put it in there, and he gets the job done. Phoenix, they could end up going back to the finals. Golden State is going to have a lot to say about that. I think if Steph Curry is able to come back, he's been out since the 16th of March with a foot injury. If he's able to come back and be 100%, I think Golden State will show that they are who they are. They are 3-time champions themselves, so they've got the pedigree to get into those playoffs and make that type of noise, and make those type of plays to get the championship, Western Conference at least, under their belt, and head on to the East and see what happens from there. Draymond is going to be crucial as well. Battling back from a back injury. Klay Thompson looks like he is gaining that win. That, hey, I'm back. You come back from an injury like that, it may take you a while to get used to landing, things like that. But with that being said, Klay looks like he's ready. He's ready. The bench, I like what Golden State has got. I like what Golden State has gotten done. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Joker in Denver, I'm not sold on Joker. In Denver, I'm not sold on Utah. Michael Conley, none of them boys. Memphis, depends on the matchup. For some reason, they match up very, very, very well with the Golden State Warriors. Folks, it's all about matchups. It's all about the draw. And you see it time and time again, more so in college basketball than you do in the NBA. But it's all about the matchups. They give Golden State trouble. Phoenix, not so much. It's just all about the matchups. I do like Ja Morant and maybe let's say Clark, Steven Adams, those guys. Their team, this squad, they remind me of a Western Conference Miami Heat. You got a bunch of players that can go out there and get it done. Not as physical. Well, they do play defense. I don't think they're as physical. I think Miami's a little bit more physical, but Memphis is a young team, so they're gonna get after you. So you got to be ready. I think they do match up very, very well with the Warriors. I think the Warriors are going to the finals. I think it's going to be the Warriors, and I got Philly coming out of that East for some reason. Joel Embiid. As discussed on last week's show, he is he could be a potential problem for Giannis and Brook Lopez. Both of them. I don't think either one of them can particularly hold him, like I said, down there in that post. But this is the Western Conference preview, recap, whatever you want to call it. The season is winding on down, and we're heading on into the playoffs. Again, check us out every Friday night, 8 p.m., Anchor FM, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. And here we are again, like I said, with the Juice Man running through the East. What's your thoughts on the Utah Jazz? You don't see them making any noise, Donovan Mitchell?
They're. I mean, I was listening to I was listening to Stephen A. Smith a couple of days ago, and he was talking about Donovan Mitchell and that he makes that team go.
Yeah.
But a lot of times he tends to run out of gas in the fourth quarter and relies too much on the three ball.
Right.
He's a decent 3-point shooter, but to
Right.
me, he's more of a slasher, going to the basket and drawing fouls and getting to the free throw line. So it just seems like there's always something missing with Utah. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like as good as Mitchell and Gobert, um, I don't know. That kid Bohan Bogdanovic. I mean, he's supposed to be that guy that's supposed to be able to stretch the floor with you know. I think he's the X factor when he goes for 30 plus. Utah is tough to deal with, but he's not consistent, and I think it also when you talked about matchups, if he's facing somebody that's more athletic than him, um, then he doesn't show up. So yeah, I just don't think
This,
they have enough.
I don't well, despite that, there are some rumblings that Donovan Mitchell wants out of Utah. Maybe him and Rudy didn't patch things up, so to say, after the Corbin incident and all that good stuff. Maybe they didn't patch it up. Can't waste your time dealing with situations and obstacles that aren't progressing you. You have a window, especially in professional sports, to get things done. You have a window in life.
Right. Yeah.
Message. You have a window in life. It's things you want to accomplish. You got to get it done. You cannot waste time finagling and playing around. I would like to see personally Donovan Mitchell team up with Luka. And then, speaking of Luka and the Mavericks, they are a very, very dangerous team. Well, they were a very, very dangerous team.
Yes.
I didn't expect them to end. If outside of Dallas and the DFW, if you say that you expected the Mavs to end up with a third seed, we're gonna have to get some footage of that, or it didn't happen. I didn't expect them to. I didn't expect them to end up with a third seed at all. So they did what they were able to do, But Luka's in a boot right now, and he's injured. So we don't want a situation where you Grant Hill yourself.
Right. I think when it comes to the Mavs, they're missing a second star. I mean, we all thought. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people thought that last year and the year before that, Porzingis was supposed to be that second star alongside Luka, and we saw how that happened. So everything is predicated on what Luka does, and I don't care who you are. You need somebody. You need help. Everybody needs help. And we've talked about that for for a lot of time. So until Luka gets help, I mean, he's gonna put up all the numbers he can put up, but they're not gonna go. They're not gonna win. They're not gonna go very far. So.
Right. Yeah, it's not gonna go very far. It's not gonna go very far at all. He needs that second star with him. But with that being said, I wouldn't necessarily run him out there this year. I don't see him making it out the West, anyways. I think Golden State would beat them. I think they could probably give Phoenix a good run. I think Memphis could probably beat them.
Steph has to get healthy, man. Like,
definitely.
We've seen it. He's the engine.
He is. Even so, when Kevin Durant came to the Warriors, their discussion was who's the most valuable player. Kevin Durant was the best player. Steph Curry was the most valuable player. But none of what Golden State has accomplished works without Steph Curry. None of it. It doesn't work. You don't have the spacing. That's all it is. It's spacing and ball movement. It's spacing. He's the ultimate spacer. So that allowed Kevin Durant to go one-on-one with 15 to 17 feet of space because you have to pick up Curry from half court. Simple game. It's a simple game. Spacing and ball movement. Spacing and ball movement, especially in today's game.
Right.
With all those different things. Jamal Murray, and it's an unfortunate situation. Big Jamal Murray fan.
Yeah.
Had real high hopes for Michael Porter Jr. He came out of college. Tracy McGrady talent. Just
yeah.
Just
It's unfortunate, man, because he just has. I mean, we've seen it. He's 6'10" and has unlimited range. Jamal Murray in the 2020 season, the bubble season. I mean, he was putting up 40 pieces.
Yep. Easy.
And just making life easier for the Joker.
Gotcha.
And it's just unfortunate that he had that was it an ACL, I believe.
Yep.
So I mean, I hope that he can make a full recovery, but without him, I mean, they'll get bounced early.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think Joker does what he does. I'm not the biggest Joker fan. Joker, he gets it done. I'm not his biggest fan. I'm not MVP. I'm not MVP crazy about it. Is he one of the top 2 or 3? Big man in the league. Yeah, he is. I don't think he's top 5 players in the NBA right now. You see what I'm saying?
No, I agree. He's not top 5, but
no, he's not top 5. He can find some space somewhere in the top 10. I'm just not a big. I'm just. He does what he does, and it's productive. He's got to show some crunch time winning. He's got to make some plays in the playoffs. Let's just be transparent.
Right.
He's got to make some plays in the playoffs. See, it's easy to. Well, I ain't gonna say easy, but yeah, it's a different. There's regular games and then there's winning time. What are you going to do when it's winning time? And he's one of those players that's got to get it done when the chips are all in on the table, and he's got to make those plays and get Denver over that hump. It's not all his fault. It is a team game. But I just want to see more out of Joker. Same with Embiid. I think Embiid is more talented. I think Embiid's best team was that 2017, 2018. Was it 2019? Was it when they lost
to Toronto?
Yeah, against Toronto.
Yeah.
Their best team, 2019.
Yeah, they should have won that series.
Jimmy Butler. I mean, they had they was loaded. They had a squad. They had a chance. Ben Simmons. They had a chance to really, really get that done. They showed a lot of toughness. I thought if they were Milwaukee, they would have beat Milwaukee too. But Toronto got it done nonetheless, and Toronto was able to go ahead and finish off a injured Golden State Warriors team. But yeah, that West is looking loaded. It's looking super, super, super loaded out there. Like I said, my pick, Steph. It's all dependent upon Steph. If Curry is healthy and 100% and the ankle is not bothering him, the foot, sorry about that, it's not bothering him, and Draymond is able to shake off those injuries with the depth that they have and just the camaraderie, just the experience, they're going to be a tough out. I wouldn't mind seeing them running to Memphis in the later rounds to see who goes to the NBA Finals or to see who faces Phoenix in the Western Conference Finals to eventually go on to the NBA Finals to see what's going on out there going on in the East.
Hey, Doc, real quick, one question. So if Steph doesn't come back healthy, who do you have winning the West?
Steph doesn't come back healthy, I would have to say Phoenix. I think the Suns. If Steph's not able to play, I would have to lean towards the Suns. They made it there last year.
Yeah,
experience. They're a complete team. I think they're a more complete team than Memphis. More experienced than Memphis. They're more complete team than Denver. Utah's too inconsistent. Like you said, Bogdanovich, the third wheel. He's too inconsistent. Like You got to show up. You got to show up. You got to show up and make the shots. Like you
Right.
can't come in, once every week. Nah, that's not how they work. That's not how they work. And it will bite you come playoff time. It definitely bites you come playoff time. But again, this is just the Just North Sports Show. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate all the love. Smash the subscribe button on the YouTube channel. Follow that link tree. Hit us up on the Facebook, the IG, all that good stuff. Y'all should know how to handle it. Share. Anybody out in the podcast world, seeing podcasts, check us out, man. Jump on here with us, man. See what we're talking about, man. We got some good commentary. Got some good guests lined up here pretty soon. It's going down. We're looking forward to big things. Y'all be on the lookout. Got some big moves coming. We got some big moves coming down the drain. You know, sometimes they say that light at the end of the tunnel may be a way out. In this situation, it's a train. So y'all just be ready because it's about to go down with the Just North Sports Show. Y'all be ready. But we're going to get on up out of here with the Juice Man on the 1, Doc on the 2. We're going to slide on up out of here. Don't forget to check us out. Again, like I said, that's every Friday night, 8 p.m. Anchor FM, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Y'all enjoy those NBA playoffs. We'll catch y'all next time. It's Just Noise. We'll holler.
Y'all be good.